I want to use this moment after I've come back from a drink to just say I'm working on something behind the scenes. Essentially, I want to, I've been looking at the rules and doing the community kind of building stuff on Twitch, right? There's like a few things that you can do that are on their website. And one of the things that I want to kind of build that has been a recent thing for, I don't know, a few weeks, I want to kind of make some sort of a brotherhood, and I want to build a bit of a community around kind of like what I am. I'm a gamer, but I'm also into like health and fitness and going to the gym, going hiking. Even if you're just incorporating physical activity in your everyday life, I think that's really good and it's really healthy. So I want to, once I unlock my channel points and that sort of thing, I want to have some of those things to be redeemable. And I want to have, like with bits, again, when I unlock all this sort of stuff, I want to have kind of tiers for like health and fitness sort of active lifestyle related things as well. I'm going to make a general Discord for like the community that I'm essentially just building from the ground up, right? But I also want to have another layer above that is going to be health and fitness related. Before I was doing this sort of thing, I kind of developed how do I put it? I made like a training program that I intended to go out and just like tell everyone about. And just, I was going to start advertising that and kind of using that and just kind of get customers and clients as a trainer. And yeah, it's just really hard to spend a lot of your time working as well as advertising, as well as doing the extra training. I actually think that what I was doing was a really, really cool idea. It was a really cool concept. It was essentially gamifying fitness. And a lot of people have a kind of, I guess they have tried to gamify fitness already with CrossFit games. And it kind of crosses a line in a way because sport is different than physical fitness, like for yourself, and you're comparing yourself to someone else. So it can be really hard and complicated, especially when you're comparing like time, reps, sets, weight with other people. And not just like lifting heavy, but like CrossFit, you have to do a certain amount in a certain amount of time. And even though the person may complete the thing that they're doing, doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for their body. It doesn't mean that their body can handle it and they don't have any joint issues or something. So I essentially made a very simple level 0 or level 1 to 10 program. And so you'd know that, for example, in running, you're a 2. In push-ups, you're a 5. And in pull-ups, you're like a 3. And in swimming, you're like a 9, right? So you'd have individual levels of all these like really simple, basic, core fundamental things that most people cannot complete. And full disclosure, level 10 is Navy SEAL entrance exam. It's based off of that. And everything before that is just like 30-second increments before that, basically. It's really good as well, I think, because it'll show you what your biggest strengths are, what your biggest weaknesses are. It gives you something to train towards. That is a small incremental goal. It's you versus you, not you versus other people. So I did a lot of one-on-one personal training. And I did SGT, which was small group training. So that was like a personal training session, but with 2 or 3 people. So there's varying degrees of making it easier, harder, adjusting for the person. And that's probably something that needs to be taken into consideration with the training routine. So one-on-one, SGT, I did group classes, and I was with Good Life Health Clubs, and I ran 12-week challenges, and I did the training for the 12-week challenge as well. And I was one of the group trainers for that class, which I think I had, 20-something people in the class. I only did them once a week. But yeah, that was just a really cool experience. I really enjoyed one-on-one because you just get to go really deep with that person. Just writing out goals and just kind of seeing where they're at, where they want to go, looking at their nutrition, hydration. And I've kind of put a lot of that stuff in like a sort of like a package. And one of the things that I think is cool is you can kind of pick your own way that you want to do things. If you just want to follow a meal plan, you can get like a generic meal plan. If you want to have a very like specific catered thing to you, then we can go over your meals, and then we can go over like macros. We can go over your goals, your activity levels, how many steps you do in a day, that sort of stuff. I was doing like hiking events or those sorts of things once a month. Ever since COVID, that fell to the wayside. But I'd like to start doing some of that stuff again, even just for myself after I had surgery last year. I think it was last year, or maybe the year before. I think it was last year. Surely it was last year. So as much as this is really cool for me, I think this is a really cool resource for other people, especially gamers. Because a lot of us aspire to want to be healthier and fitter, but we don't really know the exercises. We don't know where to start. We need someone to kind of be there with us. So I think it'd be kind of cool to have like a gaming group of guys, almost like a brotherhood, with a semi-structured way of doing things. And obviously you can go at your own sort of pace. I don't know how this is going to work. Maybe I'm going to do it in tiers, or I don't know. But yeah, I want to kind of have, like, you know, in Pokemon, how you get the, what are they called, man? Pokemon badges. Yeah, let me show you. You know how there's like the Pokemon badge box? Imagine you get like one of these boxes. Like this. This is kind of what I was thinking. Instead of it having 8 badges, you have 10. And these would obviously be representative of the level of whatever you're doing. Hang on, this does not work on my screen, does it? I need to move that over. That doesn't do anything. Because I've got it showing the full screen. Let me just move that follow golf for a sec. Yeah. So imagine having 10 of these instead of 8. And I guess these would be like different tiers or different subs. I don't really know. I haven't completely sorted this out. But I actually want to make my own box with my logo, an emblem on it. And after you're kind of like you're verified or something, I don't know how this is exactly going to work, but it would be really cool for you to get a badge or a pin. And you can like fill that space. Initially, I kind of had something in mind where I guess the box has like this. Has an empty section, and then like your badge fits in that, and it kind of fills that gap. I think that's really cool. Yeah, like this, just kind of foamy sitting up sort of thing. Yeah, and then it fills that space. This is too plasticky. I don't like this, but kind of that idea, but with like foam. So it has the engraving kind of within it, and then you just got to fill it out, sort of thing. Yeah, because as much as I love gaming, I think it's really good to be healthy, fit, strong, with nutrition, with exercise. Even if you just incorporate it into your everyday life, you know, this is something you can go run outside. You can do swimming at a pool or at a beach. You know, you can still do push-ups. So you don't necessarily have to have a gym membership for this stuff. So just a little side rant. I've kind of put together a whole package with instructions and just a lot of my knowledge in a pack, and you can kind of click through it. And I want to have different levels to it too. I want to have things that touch on not just the physical nutrition, not just the physical exercise, and not just the cooking of said things and the calories and macros and all this sort of stuff, but a lot of it is actually like mental. So a lot of things are like emotional. You know, there's emotional resilience sometimes. And this is sometimes, Asmongold's talked about this too. Like, you can talk to someone logically about the topic, but if they're just driving police or running police over with their car, logically you can't. It's really hard to tell them you shouldn't do that, because there's like an emotional resilience at that point. It's not just logical anymore. And the same thing happens with nutrition or exercise, or being skinny or being too big, or, you know, there's like an emotional resilience to exercise, or you feel like it's forced on you and it's not fun. So a lot of these things aren't necessarily logical, they're emotional. And I guess the other part of it is mental. Sometimes it's attitude, and you're trying to take really big steps. You haven't trained, so you're trying to catch up. There's kind of like the all or nothing mental trap. You know, there's heaps of mental traps and things that you, like loopholes that you get stuck in. So yeah, this is something that I wanted to address because it's some stuff that I dealt with for myself. Oh yeah, so here, even one of my Solrack bot time messages comes up. Hey villagers, quick reminder, drink some water, stay sharp in those ranked matches. Hydration equals better builds. So it's already part of what I'm starting to lean into, is being healthy, having some water, being hydrated. I think one of them says to like stand up and move around, try and aim for your 10k steps. You know, these sorts of things. And how many streamers that are playing video games tell you to move around? There's probably a few, but not that many, right? What, 1 liter bottle? This one's really cool. It has times on it on one side, and when you finish the first liter, there's different times on the other side. So you follow your left 7 till 12, and then your 2 till 7 p.m. and that's your 2 liters done for the day. So it's pretty cool because it's on the bottle. This was just from like a Kmart, right? Anyway, now that section's over, I just wanted to let you guys know that is something that I'm working on in the background, because I think that's really important to me. And I think it's just something really cool, and it might be something awesome for people out there that don't really know how to exercise and aren't part of a group or a community. And that's something that I want to start working on and somehow incorporating into what I do. Even with channel point rewards, right? And it's obviously not going to be mandatory or anything, but there's going to be a whole bunch of that stuff. I want to have some kind of stoicism, some philosophy as part of my stream. I want to have like rules set up for what I'm doing, because I don't really have anything at the moment. It's really like random. So I want to set up some rules that are kind of like, I want to encourage loose rules. I got some of these ideas actually from Memb TV. If you've ever seen him on YouTube or Twitch, he's a tournament organizer, and he plays a lot himself. He's quite good actually. So this is literally copy and paste it from his. Speak English in chat. Don't incite or take part in spam, flaming, hate, racist or sexist remarks. Don't advertise other Twitch channels. Don't spam all caps. This chat welcomes discussions, not fights. No spoilers. Enjoy. I love that. I think that's pretty cool. I want to do kind of something similar with like kind of stoicism. I want to encourage debate, not arguing. So I want to kind of have some guidelines and some rules around what I'm doing and what I'm trying to build and why. I don't want to have like an echo chamber or anything either, so I want to keep it a little bit open. And I want to, just encourage people to become the best version of themselves, essentially. That's something I've been really big on all my life, and I've had that on my like Facebook for a very long time. It's just kind of always been in the back of my head. I actually got that from Elliot Hulse on YouTube. Yeah, so he does some really good videos, especially back in the day. He's great. So anyway, yeah, let's do